This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Coffee.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Stay tuned during this podcast for more information and promo codes. Hello, this is Tales of Swordfall. I'm Paul, and I am the DM. And who am I with tonight?
You're with Very Random Butterfly, playing Rayanne, the sorceress/rogue.
Oh, I'm Phoenix, and I'm dead. I mean, my character's dead, but you'll see who I'm playing later.
I'm Luke Skytrekker, playing Alonzo Whitmire.
And I'm Guy, and I'm playing Nord Valtspar.
So, if you were with us last time, which I hope you were, if this is your first episode, turn around and listen to the last episode, because you might get some enjoyment and feel some tears out of it. So last episode, Nilkus met the three Fae Divines and asked to see Mr. Tangle. And fortunately, the consequences was him being fully transported into a world between worlds and going a little bit power hungry and crazy and killing the citizens that were in that, and ended up dying himself. And what else happened? I can't really remember much else other than
combo dream sequence.
Oh yeah, they found out Muldra was a little bit more powerful, and if you don't remember who Muldra is, or if this is your first time listening, go back. Muldra is actually Herberta. And I know, shocking. And Herberta has been a very haughty elf all this time, apparently, and yeah, she wants to get to know Norg a little bit more, and the curse is breaking, so at some point she will be free of her mule form, and yeah, maybe go back to her life before it, or maybe spend more time with Norg. Who knows? So, we're going to start off with Alonzo.
All right.
So, Alonzo, you went into your room after... Wait, actually, what were you doing after you found that altar and you got instructions to how to burn it?
Get rid of it, yeah. I left the house.
Oh, that's right. You were fully out of the house.
Yeah, I was gone. Doing some interesting things.
So, you got instructions kind of psychically that nobody else heard. And what were the instructions that you had to to get rid of the altar of the Divine Fae Maidens?
Well, I had to get dirt from a freshly dug grave, moss from a hangman's tree, and then light the fire with a candle made from the fat of a baby animal. So I got kind of a grocery list of occult items to get. Day in the life of a cleric.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask you to describe how you're going to go about this.
So yeah, this is the part where it gets a little bit funky, because you know what? I'm not gonna hold back tonight, and we're gonna do some funky things because I can and I feel like it. So Alonzo leaves the house, right? And he goes down to sort of a inconspicuous alley, and he's gonna stealth. Can I roll stealth? Should I roll stealth?
Yeah, roll stealth.
Okay. All right. So
16.
He's gonna take a bit of a hiding place, make sure no one's around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is going to transform into a dwarf.
Oh my.
He's going to get his dwarf clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go into a certain inn. I believe, I can't remember the name, but it's the inn that Gerald is at.
Oh yes. So you transform, and you are all the way on the other side of town. By the way, Gerald's Inn is in the Mercenary District. You are right now at Mage College, and that is a few hours walk to there, just alone.
Oh, go ahead, keep going.
So you go in to the alley as Alonzo. You come out, and what do you look like?
I'm glad you asked. I look like a I look short and pale. I actually have notes written up, and kind of pudgy. I'm kind of overly hairy and unkempt looking. I've got kind of spotty, pockmarked skin. I kind of a disheveled, average looking dwarf. I got kind of muddy brown eyes and dirty, kind of blonde brown hair. There's a certain over complexness to the different tones of my browns. Like I look a little bit too artistic, but you really wouldn't notice it unless you were really looking. So I mostly just look like a very stereotypically unkempt dwarf. So are there any Gerald's bar is pretty far away. Are there any other bars that I've frequented out just kind of outside of the Mage College district?
Give me a well, you are near the entertainment district, so that's one. Give me either a history to see if you've been anywhere, or a investigation to see if you know any places where you can do your business at.
Okay. I've got a little bit better investigation than history, so here we go. It's not a great roll.
13. You've heard of actually a few places within this district, the Mage College, that magic users usually hang out and kind of do under the table deals of certain magic items, because even though the Mage College believes in study and finding out your problems and going through certain rituals and stuff to just discover yourself a little bit more and discover what kind of magic is what and what kind of magic you're most comfortable with, there is magic that they don't really allow, but is sort of necessary to explore certain kind of schools. And you have heard of at least one bar that has a lot of people doing these under the table, slightly shady deals. What would the name of it be?
It would be we'll just say it's called the Water Horse, just because that's the first thing that pops into my head.
The Water Horse, appropriate name. So you pop out of the alley and you start heading toward the Water Horse.
And I'm kind of walking with a bit of a shuffle. There's a kind of a limp going on. I look like I might have already had a couple drinks. It's hard to say.
And can you roll me a performance check to see if you are pulling this off?
Let's see.
And do you remember you have advantage on those sorts of rolls?
Oh, right. Right-ho. That's better.
13? Yeah, you're doing a pretty convincing job of portraying that you're a drunken older dwarf man.
Yeah.
And you're limping throughout the city. People are not minding you much. You kind of stick out because there's a lot of magic users with robes and everything. But seeing that there's dwarves, like more dwarves here than some other areas, you're not. It's not like you're standing out like a sore thumb. You go to more toward the market where like all the stalls and stuff are in the streets, and there are a few taverns out and about, and you see the Water Horse. What does it look like from the outside?
It's It's a big tavern. It's got like 2 stories, and the second story bulges out over the road, kind of like a leaning old man, and it's kind of run down, but it looks like it's run down, but it's not shabby. It just looks kind of almost intentionally neglected. It's kind of a dark looking tavern.
So it's, I think the word is rustic.
It's rustic, yeah. And it is both kind of a ominous tavern, but also friendly enough that you could see a lot of kind of loud people going there to get drunk. It's more the upper story that's kind of got dark windows. It's both a place you can go party with your friends and do kind of some illegal deals under the table. It's a place.
Yeah, it's a place. It's probably the place that everybody knows that, oh yeah, you're going there. Well, you be careful.
Yeah, because the fights can get a little rowdy sometimes.
Well, and also they're probably magical fights, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. You go in. You're not really greeted by anyone. There are a lot of people having private conversations at many tables. There are a few patrons going upstairs, being escorted by a few people. There are some people, showing off illusion spells. But it looks like a lot of shady people. There's a lot of hoods up. And, hoods up, daggers out.
And my dwarfy self is going to look kind of a little uncomfortable with this atmosphere, just because this is more the kind of place Alonzo would actually hang out. But ironically, I'm in this form, but I'm rolling with it, Yeah. Because this is my ear to the ground body.
We're going to pause things for a moment and have a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Ko-fi.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Do you like role-playing games but you have no dice? Are you a dice dragon and just need a hoard dice? Libris Arcana has you covered. Libris Arcana offers both a monthly and quarterly subscription to get dice. Yeah, that's right. They send you dice monthly or every 3 months. They also sell individual dice sets and great leather protective book covers for your gaming manuals. Go to www.librisarcana.com. That's LIBRISARCANA.com to find out more. And if you use the promo code SwordfallFan, you get a discount. Look in the description below for more details. And now back to the story. Where do you take a table?
I'm going to go up to the bar and sit down because, you know what? I like barmen.
And there's probably other guys who kind of look like you who, aren't as, hooded and stab happy. And, they look like they're here because, they like going here and drinking and maybe the prices or just the liquor's good, whatever. And one of them turns to you. It's an older human. He has the salt and pepper 5 o'clock shadow going on. He looks a little gruff, a little older. He has patches on his clothes. He's definitely a workman. And he gives you a nod.
And I'm totally gonna nod right back. Do that guy nod thing. Sit up. Man, crazy day, am I right?
Yeah. When there's new students at the mage colleges, there's something to clean up.
Oh man, them wizards, there's always something to clean up, I'm telling you. Hey, barman, give me a beer.
Hey! And the barman gets you just a nice, frothy, beer. It has a really good head on it. It smells really oaty. It seems premium, but they don't ask you for a premium price.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, which might actually be understandable because you're outside the town, and farms would probably, especially some of the barley farms would probably be more than happier to give like brew where they're not like heavily taxed inside the city.
Gotta love casinos outside city limits.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take a big slurp of it and put it down, and I'm gonna stick out my kind of red, kind of spotty looking hand and be like, Bedge Bricklayer, it's good to meet you.
They call me Clem.
Good name, Clem, strong name. Man, Swordfall, it ain't what it used to be in my day.
Well, so you're a dwarf, your day was like 100 years ago. Ha 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 ha.
And Bedge is gonna laugh because of course he is. And yeah, it's just, you know what, in my day, there was less killing, it seemed like. Nowadays, it seems every other day they're hanging someone. In my day, we didn't just hang people. If we had a problem, we had a duel like men. You know what I'm saying?
Are you one of the gravediggers?
No, but I know them. They're hard-working lads. Someone's got to do the cleanup work around this city. Someone has to do the dirty work.
Yeah, I hear the gravediggers. They actually have a pretty big one coming through, some big bounty that just went down. And man, Erlin, if you know him, he's actually the head undertaker. He was he was actually in here about 5 minutes ago. He was complaining that they have to dismember this dude and then burn him and then bury him.
Man, in my day, we just dug a hole in the ground.
Oh, apparently he's an Orzag wizard or something like that.
Wizards, they're all the same. Always making things complicated for other people. I'm like really tactless complaining about wizards in the Mage College region. Anyway, I would have turned a bit. Where are they digging that grave these days anyway?
They have a cemetery 2 or 3 miles out of town where they put these wild wizards.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. You don't want to messing with the other graves and you get zombie hordes or something. And especially if they're from Orzag.
Oh god, don't get into zombie hat. Last time there was a zombie horde, there was so much to clean up.
Oh man, the cleanup from those things. It's like, oh yeah, let's take corpses and have them walk around. Great idea. That's not messy.
And
another beer.
You're loud enough. Some of the room actually hears me. Like there's a few people who are actually chuckling at this because, it sounds like chuckling of like people who've had firsthand experience with this.
It's messy, right? Zombies.
Oh yeah, I mean you have limbs just flying everywhere, and they're like oozing whatever.
It's huge, just so much cleanup. All right, I'm gonna finish my beer and make some more chit chat with Clem, and then I'm probably gonna bid my adieus and head back out of the bar. Well, and I'm gonna kind of give him that kind of workman pat on the vague elbow shoulder area.
Yeah.
Hang in there, man. It gets better eventually. That's what they keep telling me anyway.
Well, if I had it 100 more years like you, might actually happen. And ha ha ha.
Or it could get way worse. And he just kind of, later, man. And he just kind of puts up his hand and walks out the door.
Yeah. Do you go anywhere else?
What I do, let me see. He's gonna stop. Are there any stores where I could find a candle made from the fat of baby animal? Because that seems kind of important.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a more common item. Yeah, you could probably find, a stall. Yeah, a peddler of candles.
Should I roll anything for that, or is it probably just around?
Investigation would probably be your best bet. Then we could say, 18. So yeah, you spend a good while.
Bedge knows all the good stores.
Oh yeah. And since you are in dwarf mode, you are probably in money pincher mode now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And the vendors are not surprised that you're a dwarf and you want to save money. And most of them are not. They're willing to negotiate, but they're trying to hold their ground pretty hard. Can you give me an overall persuasion roll? Just how well you're doing with the bartering. 18. God, you
I
are
still
on
got
fire.
that Alonzo in me.
Yep. So, you find one particular booth that's out on the side of the street. This guy has candles of all sorts. He has candles made out of, all sorts of, like, waxes, like beeswax and hornet's wax, made out of fats of, like, certain beasts and specific beasts. And, he greets you when you start coming up and looking.
I'm looking for some special candle the wife wants.
Oh, hello, friend. Yes, I do have many candles. Unfortunately, I don't have any candles that would probably be suitable for, some dwarven homes, but I take pride in all the candles that I have.
That's great. It's good to see an honest man doing honest work. You got any candles made from, like, baby animal fat?
Yes, we have at least 3. What kind of animal are you looking for?
Well, really, as long as it's juvenile, I don't really care. It's just what the wife said. I'm just doing what I'm told.
I see, friend. Well, many maternity rituals usually use these candles. For you, my friend.
Ah, crap! I'm gonna have a kid or something stupid.
Did you not realize that that's what your wife was aiming for?
Look, she just said get the Kindle, Benj. Oh my gosh. I don't have the money for this.
Well, if you need any extra protection, there is a booth down the road that sells very good potions for those kind of situations. But I only deal in candles. So, this candle...
Just start me with the candle out.
Well, sir, for this finely made hand artisan candle, I will give you, it's 3 gold. It's very hard to make sometimes.
Okay. I've already have I haggled, or should I haggle some more?
Just give him a price and you'll get it.
Okay. 3 gold for, like, something you made out of, like, a dead animal. I mean, look, I'm thinking more like, I'm just saying, I need to save money for my kid. I'm saying 1 silver piece, okay? That's what we could do.
1 silver piece. Well, he thinks about it. Well, your wife didn't tell you what she had intentions for, so, yes, out of the generosity of my heart and for my fellow male, 1 silver. And he smiles.
Okay. Over and pat, he's gonna give him that little shoulder pat thing he does. He'll be like, thanks, man, you're a good kid.
And he takes your silver, gives you the nice looking candle. It's soft like a baby too. This podcast is powered by listeners like you. Thanks. Please like, comment, rate, share, and subscribe wherever you can. Consider supporting us through Patreon, Ko-fi.com, or by hitting the listener support button on our Anchor.fm page. Follow and interact with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. For all these links, look in the description below. If you liked our podcast, consider listening to these other great podcasts.
Hello, folks. JP Winterbottom here to tell you about The Beholder's Eye, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons narrative-focused actual play podcast about a group of private investigators in a fantasy noir setting with eldritch horror undertones. You can find The Beholder's Eye every other Friday on iTunes, SoundCloud, or anywhere podcasts are found.